Hello everyone, so I'm selecting between these two as a Loa, and we have Gonk the raptor dinosaur, and we have the flying pterodactyl. Now both of them give you different kind of benefits, but I wasn't exactly sure what exactly they were, so I just decided to go with Gonk for the meantime, as I'll do another playthrough and select the other Loa for the next time. But once you select your Loa and you go into this quest, you'll start seeing the totems start appearing throughout different places throughout the island. And for this one, for example, when you go over the totem, it'll give you increased movement speed and it will reduce your fall damage, which is pretty cool. So at this point, we're supposed to meet up with Gonk at his lair. Looks like a pretty cool lair with all these dinosaurs hanging around. And of course, you speak to him and tell him that you want to bargain with him as you're selecting him as your Loa. And before I move on to the next part of the video, just wanted to show you this cool feature in the game where now they have, looks like rare armor pieces will have traits. So it kind of replaces how artifact weapons had traits. Now instead you get these rare armor pieces and they will have traits that you can pick from. Of course they're going to be class oriented to whatever spec you're using, have very specific abilities, but I'm sure at least one of these might be kind of a universal trait, who knows. But this is just for the hunter. I'm going to go through this beta a bunch of times to see all the different combinations and such, so it should be pretty cool to check out all these neat little features. But once you return out here to the war druid, you selected your Loa such as this, you'll be given this quest where you talk to King Rastakhan to improve your artifact necklace. You also see the altar of Gonk, or whichever one you choose. For this one, you're going to start seeing these around the island as well, mostly in the capital cities where I've seen most of them. They do look pretty cool and they obviously give you a benefit. So when you use the altar, it gives you this. So when you gather at least 2 enemies within 10 yards, it calls a war pack to guide you, to help you, 2 dinosaurs to help you fight off the enemies. So anyways, we're out here in Zuldazar, still around the capital city. This is just underneath the golden throne and such. We're given a quest to deal with the trolls that are living down here. It's crazy, they're like not too far away from the golden throne. It's just literally down the stairs over here. And we're dealing with the Amani tribe and the Sand Fury troll tribe. And one very cool thing here, if you haven't noticed or if you haven't played Warcraft back in the day, there's a raid called Zul'Aman from the Burning Crusade, which has been converted to a heroic dungeon in Cataclysm at level 85. The Zul'Aman dungeon is pretty much this. This is kind of like a mini Zul'Aman, because the people you fight here represent the bosses that you face. Like that big bear you saw, he happens to be the second boss in the raid. This guy with the eagles, he's the very first boss in the raid. And I thought it was very cool, it's very reminiscent of the Zul'Aman raid, one of my personal favorites. And that one, of course, you get the Amani battle bear mount. And this is actually, I believe this is the guy that you fight before you're able to get the Amani battle bear. And of course you do that by saving the people on time, but that's something else. But anyways, I was just kind of saying how this is kind of a cool quest, because same thing with the next part. It's very reminiscent of the past of the game with the old dungeon / raid. Of course, here are the Amani tribe members and we have to take care of them. We have to collect 10 of their heads. There's a pretty big pool to show you guys some pretty entertaining ability with Stampede. It's rather powerful as it does very significant amount of damage, kind of like a cone-like effect. Everything kind of right in front of you, and it goes down pretty far. As you can see, it pulled those people from way back there in the stairs. I don't know, this had to be like 8 people at least. I'm not sure, because when I looted them I only got about 6 Amani heads. It did look like it was much more than 6, but I don't know. Anyway, this is a pretty cool quest. I like how we're kind of dealing with the other troll tribes that happen to be wandering around the island. But to my knowledge, I believe that Zandalar is the home island of the Zandalari tribe. So I'm not exactly sure where the Amani or the Sand Fury trolls come into play here. Maybe they're just kind of visiting, or maybe this is some kind of embassy that's gone wrong, because as we head over to the other side as well, here are the Sand Fury trolls. So like I'm saying, I'm not sure if this is an embassy or what exactly it is, because there seems to be a lot of conflict here. Some kind of rebellious action happening within the capital city. I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of real life if you think about it. you know, right up the top of the glorious temple among the golden throne, of course, is the king of the Zandalari tribe. Go just down, you know, a couple flight of steps, you'll see that there's some retaliation, aggression, and hostility down here with other members of a different faction. Kind of reminiscent in real life how, you know, things might seem very glorious and amazing with the king, but once you go down to the ordinary person, you know, things are not as good as you would think they are. But I don't know, that's probably too political or philosophical, whatever. I don't know, it's just kind of cool to come over here and fight with these different trolls, especially because this part, if you haven't noticed, is very reminiscent of the Zul'Farrak raid. Or not a raid, it's actually a 5-man dungeon, I believe it's like around level 40. It's located in Tanaris, which is in the very bottom of Kalimdor if you want to check your maps. And this is exactly like Zul'Farrak dungeon, because somewhere at the end of the raid, there's a gong that you kind of ring with a special mallet that you had to collect with this whole storyline, and it would summon a 3-headed Hydra named like Gazrilla, I believe. And this one we're fighting Gazragon, as we need to collect the 3 tongues from Gazragon. So it's very similar to the Zul'Farrak raid, which is cool because again, you know, they're kind of bringing back these old school dungeons and raids, you know, just giving the old school players something to remember that by, which is pretty cool. I had a lot of fun doing this quest. So as we come over here, we of course are collecting some pretty good upgrades that they offer. You know, they're helping us gear up pretty quickly early on into the quest line. But after we complete that, we of course have to go back up to the Golden Throne, report to the king, and talk to the blade and the shield of the king to kind of gain their trust with them, so the king will trust us and help us as the Horde. But anyways, that's going to be all for this short video today. I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos, and sub to my channel if you enjoyed this, and leave a like, and I hope to see you in some future videos with Battle for Azeroth.